Road to the Marion Road intersection. Big delays through there too. Keswick breakdown on Anzac Highway near Green Hill Road, and Crayfus West another breakdown. This one's on the freeway near the tunnels. Woodville South Burst Watermain Port Road near Findon Road with a camera this afternoon. Lady Gowrie Drive at North Haven. Barbecues galore. End of financial year clearance is on now. Shop now for Maxi Heat Prime 150 wood heaters at just $899. Only at Barbecues Galore. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast, mostly sunny this afternoon, partly cloudy tomorrow, 15. Thursday, partly cloudy, 16. Friday, 18. Right now, it's 12 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Kate Collins. Tonight, the high-ranking cop fined over an Adelaide City crash. An electric blanket causes a costly fire in Adelaide's east. The class action involving Ford vehicle owners. Are you impacted? 40 years on, see what's inside an Adelaide time capsule and COVID's hidden crisis. The lockdown link to alcoholic Aussies. 9 News, your news, nightly at 6 on 9 and 9 now.
The news and issues that matter to South Australia. Always Adelaide. This is 5AA. 5AA Afternoons with Leith, Forrest.
Well, one of Australia's favourite comedians, Jimmy Reese, is returning to the stage in his In Real Life tour. He's here in Adelaide on the 21st of November. It's a Friday at the Thebby Theatre. It'd be so great to have the Thebby back in action. Tickets are available via Ticketmaster. He joins me. Jimmy, welcome. Lovely to see you again.
Lovely to see you too. What's going on?
Well, we're excited to see you. I guess it's nice to get on the road. Different dopamine hit for you as opposed to the millions of views online. You get to see people in the flesh.
I know, and it's great to just like when you say something, then, you know, you get a response straight away. Instead of sitting there and going, oh, no one's commented yet. Oh, hang on. Oh, there's 20 likes. Oh, scrolling and scrolling.
Are you like that? Are you a doom scroller, or is it one of those things that's a pleasant surprise the next day?
There's a little bit of that to start with. I do scroll a little bit, but no, I give it a rest for a bit, and then it's nice when you check back in and you're like, oh, okay, that's going well. It's got a lot of shares, a lot of people enjoying that. That's good. Yeah.
The numbers are bonkers though, aren't they? Like you must be. I was looking at your streaming numbers. So videos alone are getting 40 million plus, 180 million minutes, 4 million plus social media followers. Could you ever have expected that when you started?
No, not at all. You know, and it's kind of bizarre to sort of delve into it like that and break it down and think, oh yeah, okay, yeah, right. There's people have been watching this for days. You know, the platforms love to tell you how many hours and days people have watched the content. You know, and I guess a lot of that might be like people watching for 5 seconds. If you add it all up, it's a lot of days. But anyway, it was a bit of a time where. Giggle and Hoot had ended. You know, I got 3 kids under 5. Pandemic rolls around. There's nothing to do.
Yeah.
I thought this is my chance to, you know, be creative and just get things out there. This is what I had in front of me was like a phone and a camera and a bit of editing knowledge. Well, let's just throw it out there. And to get a bit of like momentum going on it was just like it happened instantly almost. You know, people were watching their phones at that time. They're looking for entertainment. I was just sort of being observant and absorbing what was around me. I think the first video I kind of made, which was like, okay, I'm doing this. This is a video that I'm posting that I've made and edited and stuff. It got on Facebook, I think was my biggest hit at the time was got like 1 million. It reached 1 million accounts. And I was like, whoa, that's unbelievable to me. And then I just sort of just kept going from there. You know, it's like, it's almost like you get addicted to it, but it's like, okay, what was good about that? Like, why did people watch that one? You know, and then I think it's just, you just want to keep doing that. And then I kind of knew that like that can be a career. You know, you watch other people doing this for a career online and you know, there's different revenues and all sorts of things that become apparent and you know, that come your way. But yeah, it's kind of just crazy to think that like, I wouldn't have thought even 20 years down the track that you could get this.
Well, it's the ultimate word of mouth, isn't it? Except now it's not just a friend circle or a neighbourhood or a school group or whatever. Now it's internationally and globally. It's just I want to talk about your career if we can. You sort of touched on it there. So just for those 1 or 2 people in the audience who don't know, it's an extraordinary rise. So we first met you as Jimmy Giggle from Giggle and Hoot on the ABC, and any parent, any grandparent who is listening to the show now or, you know, or watching us, they know what an extraordinary stepping stone that is for you because you get the TV, the live shows, the albums that come with it. How long were you on ABC for Kids.
Yep, 10 years on ABC Kids. And yeah, can you believe I auditioned in 2000 and, oh no. Can you believe I auditioned in 2009 and the audition was find a camera to start with, record yourself doing a few of this criteria. I had to take the tape out and somehow digitize that burn it onto a DVD and then send it into the ABC, who then watched. Apparently they got over 5,000 of these DVDs. I'm surprised actually that 5,000 people knew how to burn a video onto a DVD. Anyway, and then, yeah, we just went from there. You know, I walked into this studio and there's like 30 people there. There's like 50 million lights. There's a whole set that's been bespoke built. There's people running around with costumes and fittings and photographers and all sorts of things. You know, it was a crazy environment just to walk into as a 22-year-old. I think it was 22. Mm-hmm. And and then from there it just went from, you know, it had its heyday, I think, Giggle and Hoot in sort of like 2013, 14, 15. I think was the big years for it. Like we went on tour, we were touring. I was like the tours would just sell out really quickly. We're doing 3 shows a day in a city for like, I think in Melbourne on our second tour, I think we did 39 shows just in Melbourne over a couple of weeks, 3 shows a day. It was just absolutely crazy. Yeah.
That's where the kids and I first met you. It was like meeting the Beatles at the Festival Theatre when we got to meet you that day, because in a weird way too, you became a heartthrob for mums, you know, and for grandmums too. like Benita was in our day, you know, on Play School back in the 80s. You were like the pin-up for the generation.
So funny. I mean, it's so random. I mean, who ever thought that people would, you know, think that? And, you know, I don't know. I had these big, massive sideburns and I had them at school and I thought, oh, that was a bit different or whatever. And I was ready to get rid of them. And they were like, no, I think you should keep them. It's quite funny. It's a bit quirky, kind of fits the show. And then for the next 10 years, I couldn't shave them off. I was like, damn it. But anyway, people still created Facebook pages called I Could Teach Jimmy Giggle a Thing or Two. Wink, wink. And Jimmy Giggle is hot, and you know, all these kind of random things. So yeah, it was kind of funny. Yeah, my wife and I had a good laugh at that. You know, some of the comments, it's all tongue in cheek and it's all a bit of fun. But yeah, there were some pretty funny ones.
You were paving the way for Robert Irwin, so well done on that. You're a pioneer on the front. Hey, so then you hang up the pajamas, as we talked about through COVID, you know, these videos just explode, you know, online and it's just extraordinary. It's a credit to you because you have nailed every demo, because people my age like you, my parents like you, and my kids like you. So you've cracked that code, and I know you're doing an all ages gig too, that, you know, that's got to be great for anyone going into a form of art where you can cover all bases.
Yeah, I know. And I didn't kind of obviously intend it that way. It's just, you know, obviously doing a kids show for 10 years, people then, you know, kids who watched it are now feeling a bit nostalgic when they see me, but they also like, oh, hang on, he's on our platforms that we use, you know, and I've got the all ages kind of thing comes from, you know, it's not like I walk around and never swear. It's like I hang over from being at the ABC for so long. You know, the content was for everyone. You know, obviously, it's a kids' TV show. And then when I broke out of that, I'm kind of like, oh, I'm doing these things. I'm like, I still have this. I've been there for 10 years. I still have this hat on of like, I don't want to be rude. Like, how do I tackle this? I don't want to swear. I'm definitely not going to swear for a while. Or even if I do, I'm bleeping it out. Like, that's just to keep everything. Because I would worry about people like, oh, look what Jimmy Giggle's doing now, you know, and like, which I shouldn't need to worry. I didn't have to worry about really. But I kind of then after a while thought, it's kind of, yes, I do use curse words or whatever to punctuate something, but I also bleep it out. And it has the same effect. In my eyes, it has the same effect. Even someone just going beep or actually saying it, but then by going beep, it actually opens it up to people not being offended if they don't like that. Like my parents would be like, oh, all these comedians who just go out there and swear, it's F this and F that and C this and say, I can't stand it. You know, and I think that's actually something that like is less and less becoming, you know, a lot of people just swear through everything now. And I kind of keep it clean in that way, you know, and as a respect to all of the audiences, and I want to keep it as broad as I can. So that's just kind of been something that grew from, like, I don't think Jimmy Giggle would say this in the first, maybe year of me making content for online. And then as it's gone on, I'm like, actually, it's not a bad thing to keep up. Look, I like doing it.
And I think people, as you say, when people hear the beats, they understand it themselves. Your comedy is observational. Let's talk about that because you make fun of different states and different social types. And the beauty is that people get the joke. They laugh at themselves. They laugh at others too. You're coming to see us here again in Adelaide, in South Australia. What's your takeaway on South Australia? What's the thing that instantly hits you when you think about South Australians?
Well, I think when you see like these lists that have like Adelaide up there, in like the most livable cities or whatever, I feel like people from Adelaide are like, they're kind of like, yeah, but how are we there? How are we there? We earned that. Did we earn it? I'm not sure. I think we are. It's a little bit of like an identity crisis, maybe. Like people have thought of Adelaide, yeah, so they should, but don't come here because you'll ruin it. Like I think you're on to something good. People in Adelaide are like, we got the wine and the things, but don't be too loud because we don't want to be Melbourne, And then we're obviously really proud of things, like whenever something happens in Adelaide, it's really proud. But it's like, I was there, I would have been there, The old trope is that they'll go to an opening of a can. But I think, I think Adelaide's got their own things and, yeah.
I think you nailed it. It's the shocked celebration. It's like, yes, really?
Yeah.
Yes.
We're talking about us. Why are they talking about us? Hang on. I don't know if I like this.
Well, it's great to have you on the show. It'll be even better to see you in person. This is the date that people need to know, the 21st of November. It's a Friday, FIVEAA Theatre, which has been dark for 2 years, Jimmy. So you're one of the first shows to come back for Bob Lott and his team, which will be excellent to see.
The last time I was there, it had to be moved. My last show was going to be at the FIVEAA, and they were like, no, it's closing, so we had to go somewhere else. It'll be this is awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Such a great venue. Renos are done. It'll be amazing. Ticketmaster.com.au is where you find all the information and all your tickets. Jimmy Rees in real life tour. Great to see you again, Jimmy. Thank you, and look forward to seeing you in November.
Likewise. Thanks for having me.
If you want to know what's going on at the Adelaide Football Club, listen in to the 5AA Sports Show. Each week, Rowie and Timmy G chat with the players and coaches in the know. Thanks to Sterling Homes. Whether your block's the size of the Adelaide Oval or the goal square, customise your build with Sterling Homes.
Unlock your next getaway with a chance to win one of 2 Crusader caravans, plus 50k in vouchers to be won nationally. Buy the advertiser, find today's code word and enter at wimwithnews.com.au. T's and C's apply. T25/904.
At SEW Eurodrive, we keep Australian industry moving with innovative drive technologies and unmatched service. Our 24-hour emergency breakdown service minimises downtime to maintain productivity.
Step back in time with the treasures of the Viking Age at the South Australian Museum. Featuring artefacts of the Galloway Hoard, the most remarkable collection of Viking Age objects ever unearthed in Britain or Ireland. A time capsule of gold, silver and treasures with unique heirlooms is revolutionising our understanding of medieval Europe. They are now being displayed for the first time ever outside of Britain. On now until the 27th of July. Book now at samuseum.sa.gov.au.
You wake up and you're feeling a bit off. Your nose is runny, but maybe it's just a cold. That scratchy throat, though, that could be something worse.
Test for COVID, Flu A, Flu B and RSV in just minutes with Cell Life, the premium 4-in-1 rapid antigen test. Fast, reliable results. Make the smart choice for your health and your family. Insist on the brand the healthcare professionals prefer. Cell Life at leading chemists and Amazon. CELLIFE.
Hi, it's Jerry Harvey here. Did you know in Adelaide, Harvey Norman have 2 of the biggest clearance outlets at Jepps Cross and Marion? Electrical, furniture and bedding at Marion and dedicated furniture and bedding in Jepps Cross. We've been buying all the discontinued stock from all over the country. Get in and get a bargain. Tell them Jerry sent you. Jepps Cross and Marion, Harvey Norman Clearance Centres.
When you've been around for over a century, you know a thing or two. And South Australian Business Chamber and Ray White have almost 300 years between them.
So when an alliance is formed between South Australian Business Chamber and Ray White Business Sales SA, all that experience flows to you. This ensures you're in top shape, whether you're buying, selling, or somewhere in between. Touch base with the experts. Search Ray White Business Sales SA. Proudly partnered with South Australian Business Chamber.
Hi, Brett Ebert here for Mawson Lakes Mazda. There's a lot to like about Mawson Lakes Mazda. They'll take care of you with next day servicing, complimentary loan car, vacuum and wash. And your breakfast or lunch is on them. Your car gets the love too with their state-of-the-art service centre, brimming with top-trained mechanics. At Mawson Lakes Mazda, they'll look after your car and look after you. Mawson Lakes Mazda, just a short drive from the city.
5AA Afternoons with Leith Forrest.
22 minutes after 3 on the Complete Care live stream, Facebook and YouTube. Actually, I've got to turn my... Oh, it's not too bad. You reckon? So this is the funny thing. If you're tuning in for the first time, welcome. Great to have you on board. Sports show coming up shortly with Rowie and Tim. So it was interesting while I was away sick because... as I mentioned at the very start of the show, I was lucky enough to get COVID for the 4th time last week, which was a lot of fun. And so if anyone is listening to us and they're not doing well with COVID, but it was funny because I get to now watch the Complete Care live stream at home, which I must admit, when you're working, you don't get to do that. So I got to see Angie a couple of times when I wasn't asleep. And I just noticed every now and then maybe the lights weren't as bright as they should be. And I forget that too. So now you can see us. And then I was thinking about who's actually watching our Complete Care live stream. Do you watch it on your phone? Do you watch it on your tablet? Does anyone actually have it on their televisions at home? And then I had that thought, imagine my face on someone's wall at home. So I do apologise for that. We love Complete Care and we love their support of the live stream. A lot of fun when we have some great people here, which we will in a minute because Illuminate starts as of tomorrow, which we're very excited about. In the meantime, we were having a little bit of fun with Turkey Tuesday, not disparaging of people that name their children unusually, but we were talking about names that were banned by births, deaths and marriages when it comes to babies. And do you know someone with an unusual name? Myself included. I mean, a lot of people, even now, when they sort of meet me for the first time, they're like, what's wrong with your parents? They didn't quite think of it that way. So we've been getting some people coming in with unusual names, and they don't have to be sort of as bizarre as the ones that were banned, but we're getting some great text messages in. Louis said one of his brother's names is Antonius Maria Pantranellus Johannes. How and why does that work? Remind me again why that works. 8223 0000. What's the religious connotation to that? My mother's got 5 names. I think it must be when you get baptised or you get christened or you get something, till I didn't pay attention at Sunday school, that people have numerous names. So we didn't give our kids any names. They've just got their first name because we got teased so much as kids about our names that we didn't worry about it. We just gave them the one and that was it. Andrew from Ridgehaven, his surname is Ryle, R-Y-A-L-L. As you hear sometimes on 5AA, rile you up, don't rile him. Yeah, see, that's an unusual name we don't hear a lot of, Andrew. Thank you for that. Janet says, I've got 2 grandchildren. They've got unusual names. Lamisha, Lomatia, which is a beautiful name, pronounced Lamisha, and Carex, Carex. They are both plant names. Interesting. Thank you, Janet. Appreciate that. 8223 0000 for unusual names. Darren says they're not unusual per se, but when you combine them with a surname they are. There's a South Australian jockey called Callum Murray. I had to look that up, Darren, because I wasn't sure if you were just taking the you-know-what. But that's true. Callum Murray is a jockey, which sounds like calamari, which is a good name. And then he said there was a guy whose first name was Wayne, his last name was Kerr, K-E-R-R. What were the parents thinking? You never know if that's true, but maybe it is true. We had a William Williams in Millicent growing up, which is unusual. You would think of all the names, and I know there's Dr. David, but you could choose any other first name. When that's your surname, why would you go with that? It's unusual. Len said, Leith, I am not joking. I swear. So he's swearing. We're going to believe him. He went to school with a boy whose first name was Les and his last name was B-E-I-N. And maybe that is the case. Len. But yes, I wonder what on earth. Sometimes maybe parents don't think that sometimes when they think of the first name and the last name. My parents never thought that the TH of Leith would become an F, and my name would be Leith Forrest, and then I'd get every foliage-related nickname and teasing my entire childhood. And then, of course, Forrest Gump came along, which was so much fun. Natalie is in Greenwith. Welcome, Natalie.
Hello, how are you?
Hey, Natalie. Good, thank you.
Yes, my grandfather's name was George Nestor Whistle Watchell.
George Nestor Whistle, did you say?
Yeah, Whistle Watchell, and they called him Ike.
Ike. So those family names, are they traditional names passed down?
I think the Whistle and the Watchell must be, yes. I think Watchell is a German name,
Right.
But when the war was on, a couple of his sons changed their last name to Watson.
Yes.
But yeah, George Nestor Whistle Watchell.
That is a great name. Well done, Natalie.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. That's exactly what we're after. And these are names that you just don't hear anymore. There's a lot of common names that don't get a run, but I love some of these more outlandish names. Thank you for that. Jeanette, before we get to the break, says, mine's fairly ordinary, but on my birth certificate, the typist made an error, and therefore I'm recorded as Jamet, Jemette, not Janet. Oh, Jeanette, did you ever have to get that fixed? Or have you just left it on your birth certificate and your driver's license and your passport as Jamet? That's kind of cool. Either way. I think my hometown of Millicent was actually meant to be Milliellicent because I think it was the Archbishop's daughter. And again, typo. They dropped the E, so it just became the I. So that's become our town name for 100 plus years. Mary in Flagstaff Hill, what's your unusual name, Mary?
I'm glad to hear you back on air.
Thank you, Mary.
My father-in-law's name was Friend.
Friend?
And my husband's middle name is Friend. And my husband always tells the story of when his dad was in the war and they come back and they say friend or foe. Of course, he'd say friend.
Friend. So it was a family name passed down. Wow.
It must be, yes. Yeah, I forget that where it came from.
Yeah, I mean, Graham has it, doesn't he, Graham Corns? Because Studley is an unusual middle name, and that's been passed down to his boys. So Friend, I guess, yeah, something that you don't normally associate with a name. That's excellent. Mary, thank you for the call. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well done. 8223 0000. If you've got one you'd like to add, we'll give away 6 bottles of the Turkey Flat wines, thanks to Turkey Flat Vineyards, the Shiraz and the GSM, for an unusual name. And again, there's no sort of finger pointing here. It's just a fun trip down name memory lane, if you like. 29 minutes after 3. Headlines with Mel on the other side. We're going to let you. Did you seriously put that in the system? See this? I'm still sick, Sam. You can't be mean to me. We're going to talk about Illuminate next. Listen what Sam put in.
Run, Forrest, run! Run, Forrest!
5AA Mornings with Graham Goodings.
Australians have lost another $60 billion to gambling. That's right, 60 billion with a B. Australians are the biggest losers in the world when it comes to gambling. We have a culture where sport and gambling are intrinsically linked.
Graham Goodings.
So if 4 in 5 Australians believe there should be a ban on gambling ads, why is the government so loath to take action?
Weekday mornings from 9 on 5AA. Always Adelaide. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Good afternoon. Mel Usher with the 5AA News headlines. A repeat offender in one of the state's most serious cases of puppy farming will serve time in prison. New laws banning political donations in SA are now in force. Penny Wong is in Washington, D.C. for talks with her counterpart, Marco Rubio. And in sport, Richmond's Tom Lynch will front the AFL Tribunal at 4:30 this afternoon. The 5AA forecast mostly sunny this afternoon, partly cloudy tomorrow, 15. Right now, it's 12 degrees. We'll have more news at 4 on 5AA, always Adelaide.
Last month, we serviced around 11,000 vehicles, more than 1,500 Fords, 1,200 Holdens, 1,000 Subarus, 800 Isuzus, MGs, BMWs, Mercs, Audis. That's right, over 11,000 people trusted us with their pride and joy. Automasters, isn't it time for you to switch and save? Call 1300 Automasters or book online. All centres offer repair now, pay later options. So switch and save with Automasters. Great service, guaranteed.
Adelaide, can you hear the roar? The British and Irish Lions are coming in a one-night-only event this July. 6 nations will clash in the heart of Adelaide at the iconic Adelaide Oval. Witness the pinnacle of international rugby when the best of England, Ireland, Wales and Scotland join forces to take on a combined Australia and New Zealand juggernaut. One tour, one chance. Don't miss out. Secure your tickets now at Ticketek.
Brace yourself, Adelaide. The dinosaurs have returned. Pat baby dinosaurs race lightning-fast raptors, stand face-to-face with a roaring T-Rex. This is Universal Kingdom, the next era. Brought to you by Adelaide Zoo, Illuminate Adelaide and presenting partner SA Power Networks. A mind-blowing after-dark adventure with dazzling lights, giant puppets and prehistoric magic for the whole family. Book now at adelaidezoo.com.au.
Ageism takes away my rights. The right to make my own decisions, be safe, and be treated with dignity and respect. Sometimes people assume I can't do something because of my age. They exclude me, and I feel invisible and sad. Ageism can lead to mistreatment, neglect, and other forms of abuse. How do you treat the older people in your life?
For more information, search DHS Tackling Ageism, a message from the Government of South Australia.
Hi, Malcolm Blight here for Knowles Caravans, home of Island Star. For over 50 years, they've had the best selection of new vans, or they can custom build one in just 10 to 12 weeks. Or look around at 100 second-hand vans, perfect for travelling around our beautiful country, or if you need an extra room at home, subject to council approvals.
Caravans, Knowles Caravans, Knowles Caravans, Knowles Caravans.
Knowles Caravans, 561 Salisbury Highway, Greenfields, opposite Mawson Lakes. You'll love the way they do business.
Every song is a love letter in the Binge series that critics are calling absolutely stellar.
You never forget the boy who makes your first mixtape.
Mixtape, now streaming on Binge.
Last month, around 11,000 people trusted us with their pride and joy. Automasters, logbook servicing, repairs, brakes, aircon and more. Isn't it time for you to switch and save? Call 1300 Automasters. Great service, guaranteed.
Always live. 5AA. Always Adelaide. 5AA Afternoons with Leith, Forrest.
27 minutes to 4. We'll speak to the boys very shortly from the Sports Show. Tim Ginniver, Stephen Rowe coming up from 4 o'clock. Lots of things going on in the world of sport. More so, lots of things going on in the world of art. And our State of the Arts continues because tomorrow is a very big day. Tomorrow is the launch of Illuminate for 2025, or first day at least, for Illuminate. It is our biggest winter event. And I know my next two guests are very excited because this time last year, Lee Cumberledge and Rachel, as a party, we were all together. I don't know if you remember this, you guys. We were together on North Terrace.
I remember.
In front of Elder Hall, maybe, or in the museum.
It was, yeah. Yeah.
Freezing cold, but what a night it was, and people milling around everywhere. And I said to you both then, you must just love what you do to get to sit there visually after all the hard work of putting it together and just enjoy people enjoying it. Welcome to you both. Good to see you.
Thanks.
Thank
for
you.
having us.
Yeah.
How are you feeling today then? Because tomorrow we start. Is there any stress of today, or are you pretty much done, Lee? You're good to go?
We're pretty excited, I would say. The team is out there all around the city in various locations, setting up everything, looking after the finishing touches. And, yeah, we're super excited to get underway tomorrow.
Explain to me again, Rachel, remind my memory and the 5AA listeners, how do you go about sourcing the people that you use for Illuminate? Where do people come to you because you've got such a great reputation now, or is it a combination that you...
It's a bit of a combination. I mean, we're really lucky now, 5 years in. This is our 5th year, as you said, and we have lots of artists that pitch wonderful, incredible ideas, and then we also have artists that we've been keeping an eye on that we sort of research and look at and we're lucky enough to travel around Australia and also internationally to look at different artists. So it's a little bit of a mix of people coming to us and us also finding the newest, most innovative artists that we can work with and bring to South Australia.
Please don't take this the wrong way because it's a compliment. People are suckers for lights at night. It's a bit the same as fireworks. Fireworks don't change, but people are so excited to see fireworks. What you guys have been able to do is draw on the fact that people love pretty lights at night and then just explode it into the most amazing art installations, if you like. But the premise is still the same, Lee.
Yeah.
Get me out at night, show me some pretty lights and I'm happy.
Absolutely, and especially on these, super cold, crisp, long, dark nights that we have going on at the moment. I think, being able to come out and see our city completely transformed, it's quite a simple idea. Add to the fact that it's free. I think a lot of it, we're really proud of our free program across the CBD, more than 40 different sites, installations that people can just get out and interact with. And I think it's just a great way to sort of, shrug off those winter blues, I guess.
You know what? I love the fact that you brought pride to our city, Rachel. Like, I think about when I travel with my kids, you walk through New York at night. It's pretty. It's lit up. It's, you go to Paris. It's lit up. You go to the great cities of the world. We are a great city. Let's light it up at night. And we get to do that. To walk down North Terrace during your festival and see it lit up and see the enjoyment of families and non-family, it doesn't matter, is so great. And you must have a sense of pride of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's what we really wanted. Like, Lee and I are very proud South Australians, and we have travelled the world. We've been very lucky, and we really wanted to bring the best to South Australia because we are a beautiful state. We're such a walkable city. We're such a, people come out and really support our city at festival time or events. And so we really wanted to make people proud and bring the best of the world, as well as incredible local artists to, present work to the public.
We have a live stream, which you can see now on the screens here, that everyone's watching on their Facebook and on their YouTube now, of a video that we've put together, or you guys have put together, compiled of everything that we can experience here at Illuminate. And again, I'm sitting there going, that's Adelaide. Like, that's us. Yeah. That is such a great thing that you have done in a time, Lee, where I guess winter's hard to get people out of their homes. Most people go, it's a bit cold. Do I really want to go out and, pump some money into the CBD or to venues, for example? But to do that, and we want to get our kids off devices as much as possible, what's better to walk the Botanic Gardens at night and see these amazing shows?
Yeah, that's right. We have some incredible venues here in Adelaide, and the Adelaide Botanic Gardens is certainly one of those that we've been able to bring to life in the dark for a few years now. And Night Visions, which opens tomorrow night, is the latest in a line of projects that we've done in there. So, this is a project that Rachel and I have conceived really from the ground up this year. So, we've put together a team of artists and technicians and designers to sort of bring that site to life with installations that transport people into parallel dimensions, and that's some of what you're seeing there on the stream at the moment.
Look how beautiful that is. And it encourages people to go to the Botanic Gardens when it's not lit up too, I think. It's a win-win.
Yeah, I think so, and it has over the years as well. Like, we're really proud to sort of bring Botanic Gardens into the fray, and also, the zoo at night, a lot of, wandering around. But back to your point, I think if you give people something to come out for and something to enjoy and immerse themselves, and also Illuminate Adelaide is for everyone. It's from little kids to 80-year-olds to in between. It's couples, it's families. That's what we're really proud of, and I think if you give people something to see and come out, they will.
Are you guys like Clark Griswold, pre-Christmas? You're putting all the lights together, just waiting to press the plug and turn it on now and let's see it. I imagine when you're going through the Botanic Gardens, in this particular case, you've got no idea when, during the daytime, you can't tell. You got to wait and then you'd be blown away. I mean, the people that do this, I'm sure, have got a lot of experience.
Absolutely.
But still.
Yeah, well, let's hope it doesn't turn out like a national lampoon.
Could you imagine? I know we're not allowed to play favourites, but we're going to. So Night Vision just spoke about. Can I talk about Horizons?
Of course, yeah.
This is the one with the drones, correct?
That's correct. So this is a one-night only drone and light spectacular at Adelaide Oval. It's presented by our partners RAA, and it is going to be spectacular. I mean, we are talking hundreds of illuminated drones. We're going to take over the video screens and the audio system of the Adelaide Oval. And we're going to use all of that to tell an amazing story about this place, an extension of what we've been talking about before, the riverbank, this city, and the future, the past and future of what we've got going on here is going to be at the heart of this show that we're creating.
I've only ever seen pictures of what people are able to do with drones. We flew a drone once, one drone. It was so hard. And now the choreography that you're able to do with this is going to be something the Adelaide Oval's never seen before, which again, showcase of our city. People get to watch it at night, see this amazing display.
Absolutely. Iconic venue, Adelaide Oval, and how amazing. I mean, AGB, who are the drone specialists that we've brought from Sydney actually for this event, that we've been watching the renders of what they're going to produce, and it is quite amazing. It's awe-inspiring. We're just so excited because it's half an hour show. It really is a theatrical show with lighting and drones and storytelling and screens. It's sort of got everything.
I'm all about core memories too with my kids. I imagine how many families are going to come to this show, Lee, and sit there as a family where they've normally watched the Crows and Port and cricket and whatever else, and they're going to be taken to a place they've never seen before. We haven't seen this in Adelaide before, to my knowledge.
No, that's right. In fact, it's the first time anywhere in the country that we've had a drone show in a major stadium in any of our cities. So, so it's a first. And you're right, it's for everybody, again, like everything we do at Illuminate, but families, and older generations, but also people that perhaps haven't ever been to Adelaide Oval before, people that don't necessarily come to the football or the cricket, and that's what we're all about. So it's going to be a fantastic night, I think.
I wonder if they're allowed to do the roof climb on the night.
Well, no, we've just, right up to the point, and then when the drones fly, because there's a whole exclusion zone, it's all quite technical, so we can't have anyone above the stadium.
Someone just gets randomly hit by a drone wouldn't be ideal. We'll have you back on the show, though. We'll talk about that if it does. The sucker for a pretty light in a nighttime sort of environment, sucker for an animal lit up too. Tell us about Universal Kingdom, because again, I know we're sort of pushing it towards the families, but the beauty of families is that it's generational. You don't necessarily have to go with your grandkids or your kids. You go on your own, but still, people of all different ages are going to get some enjoyment out of this.
And who doesn't love the zoo? I mean, you can be any age to love the zoo and animals. I mean, there's incredible sort of lit lanterns of animals. We've got neon animals. We've got little wonderful puppets, wandering around, big dinosaurs. It really is a showcase for everyone. And again, it's really generational. It's I love going there. It's one of my favourite things to do, and I'm in my 50s, so so we're excited about this Universal Kingdom.
Are you guys the envy of the illuminated community? Like, are there other people trying to tap into your? Yeah, see, you just saw your nod, Rachel, on the live stream there. But I imagine, like, we feel. I mean, we're proud of any great festival we do in this city, in this state, but you guys seem to be leaders in this. I never hear anything like this elsewhere.
Well, we do talk to other directors and curators of these kinds of events all over the world. And I think what's different about what we're doing also is it has that kind of light festival component to it, but we're also pushing into this new space of art and technology and the whole realm of immersive, art and entertainment, which is just exploding across the planet at the moment. And we're just trying to stay, up with that, but also at the forefront of what's happening in that space. That's why we're making these shows in the Botanic Gardens, and that's why I've had exhibitions in previous years that are all about the interaction between art and tech. And that's what we just, what we're planning to do in future years as well. Bring some amazing projects from that whole realm back to Adelaide.
I want to talk about two more favourites that I picked out, if that's okay. The whole thing needs to be seen to be believed, which people want to get on the website, and we'll let them know all about that. But city lights, I like, again, that you've lit up the things that people know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's the art gallery, the facade of the art gallery, a fantastic exhibition by Joan Ross and a wonderful Australian artist. We've got Somnius inside Bonython Hall. Who doesn't love going inside Bonython Hall? We've got a beautiful artwork from a UK company, Eluna Fomian. Emergence, we've got a huge thing on Festival Plaza, and we've got an incredible artist on Government House. The Governor has been so amazing. She welcomes us to her residence every year, and so we've got a beautiful projection artist work there. So there's just so much to see and do, and completely new installations every year.
That one last year, the First Nations one at Government House, was amazing.
It was beautiful.
Extraordinary. The Offline Club, what is this about, Lee?
Well, this is all about getting off our devices for, a few hours. We're doing several events around the city at cafes. We're having a lunch at Paper Shell Farm at Wollonga and a major hangout event at the Lumen Bar, the pop-up bar at Adelaide University. So you come, you put your phone away for 2-3 hours, you interact with other people there, you just basically get offline and have fun together and just, I guess, rekindle some of those, other pastimes that we used to do before we got stuck on our phones scrolling. So I think it's all about coming together, and it's hosted by these amazing people from Amsterdam. They've started this movement in Europe, and it's taking off. And this is the first time the Offline Club has been to Australia. So they come and they host these events and all the activities that you do while you're there.
And it all starts tomorrow.
One more sleep.
You excited?
Very excited. I love this time. It's like my sort of Christmas in July.
I tell you what's been great for you too, Instagram. Like people love, it's great to see people showcase and kind of help promote the city via social media. Yes. I know we want to get off our phones, but I must admit that's when I get it. You get that sort of fear of missing out and you think, right, that's a good photo. Let's go and see that ourselves. Have you got any tips for me on how to take better photos, though? Is there any trick, Rachel, that I should know? Or should I actually
don't ask me, I'm terrible.
Are you guys of the belief, like people when they go to concerts, you should almost put your phone down and just experience it with your eyes and your own being, as opposed to going, I want a memento of this with my kids?
I think a bit of both. I mean, I think it's really lovely to put your phone away for a minute and experience it and explore it, but then to take that memory away and to have that experience, because we have so many wonderful Instagram moments actually, like right across it. So we love that. We love people sharing their experience and social media is such a big thing now. So we really love that. But we also really want people to just be in the moment, get off your screen and just immerse yourself in the experience.
I'm looking at the weather for the next week. So you're on now, how long? It's 3 weeks, isn't it?
Yeah, till July 20th.
Till the 20th of July. But the next week, I mean, you're 15, 16, but no rain which is what we're after, although we would like some rain, but perfect. But a little fresh too. I think that adds to the Illuminate experience.
Absolutely. Yeah, these crisp nights, as I said, are fantastic. And, you just have to rug up really and get out there. And, even if it does rain later in the 2-week period, these installations are designed to withstand all of that. And in fact, some of the lasers we've got in the gardens just look incredible when it's raining. So, we just encourage everybody to get out there regardless of what the weather's doing. That's the one thing we can't control when we're putting on this event.
But also sort of getting out when you think it's going to be cold, but then once you start walking around and experiencing, you actually get quite warm. Yeah. So you'll actually peel off some layers.
Well, it's a great thing because it becomes a walking city. So you might normally just go to one place on North Terrace, but you might walk the whole thing, then squirt through the mall or, as you say, around the government house area and through what is there on the riverbank. First and foremost, congratulations to both of you and thank you for what you're doing for the state. The festival state can't have chunks of the year missing through the wet and cold months, but that's where you guys have just gone, right? This is year number what? For
5.
5.
Year 5. Yeah. And, we thank the public too, because without them getting behind Illuminate Adelaide, it wouldn't be the success it is as well. So we just love people getting out and about. It's so great going out in the streets and seeing people enjoying what we spend a whole year planning.
Well, you can have a good night's sleep tonight and then enjoy it as of tomorrow. Where do we go for all the information, for tickets? What's the best place you want to push us to?
IlluminateAdelaide.com. Get on that website. It's all there. We've got a map, our City Lights map, downloadable. All the information is on our website.
Well done. Congratulations to you both. Calm before the storm. Will you sleep tonight or too nervous? Like Christmas Eve, you'll be a bit sort of...
Yeah, we'll be out late tonight, I think, so organising things out in the streets.
Tomorrow you can have an early night. Yeah. Lee Cumberledge, Rachel as a party, thank you so much for coming in. The two geniuses behind Illuminate, folks, which starts tomorrow. Buying, selling, leasing, renting. When it comes to real estate, the right advice can save you thousands. Every Wednesday afternoon at 2 p.m, the expert team from Toop and Toop join us for Real Estate Radio. We'll get the right advice from Adelaide's most awarded real estate firm. And for some individual advice, you can call the Real Estate Lounge after the show from 2:30. Join me, Leith, Forrest and the expert team from Toop and Toop every Wednesday afternoon from 2 o'clock here on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
This is the sound of chef and business owner Tom sleep talking.
Yes, chef. So many bills. Team happy. Keep the team happy.
He's feeling the pressure of running his own business, and it's costing him sleep.
Bills.
But it doesn't have to. Westpac Small Business Solutions can help keep the cash flowing and get Tom a good night's rest. Search Westpac Small Business Solutions to find out how we can help you. Eligibility, credit criteria, fees, T's and C's apply.
Look here. Look at shorty got back. Should I ask her for a dance? Hold on, there's too many in the wolf pack.
The all-electric Kia EV3, crowned the 2025 World Car of the Year. Awarded for its record 604 kilometres of all-electric range and fast-charging capabilities. The Kia EV3 is your 2025 World Car of the Year. Visit kia.com.au to find out more.
Kia. Movement that inspires. The Snooze End of Financial Year sale has been extended for 1 week only. Save up to 50% off selected mattresses and up to 40% off selected bed frames. Hurry, sale must end Sunday. Exclusions, T's and C's apply.
G'day, it's Eddie May here from NRG Solar. We've grown from 3 staff at the beginning to 30, 40 staff and a number of contractors now. And radio's definitely played a big part of that. We've been working with FIVEAA for 5 or 6 years now. And in that time, we've seen a lot of businesses come and go in our industry. And I think that's a great example of people having a go, short periods of time, not happy, leave. And for us, that longevity has enabled us to have a really great relationship with the audience. So when we meet someone that's a FIVEAA customer, they feel like they know us and we feel like we know them, and it makes for a really great experience for everyone involved.
To get your message out there and grow your business, visit 5AA.com.au and hit the Advertise With Us link.
Ray White, big name in real estate, but also the biggest name in business broking. What makes us big? Our people, like Brett Buckley and his team. MBA, lecturer, and multi-time SA Business Broker of the Year. Brett doesn't just read a P&L, he feels it. If you're selling or expanding your business, Brett can take your business apart and find you more money. And we're not talking small change. Go on, touch base with Brett. Search Ray White Business Sales SA.
Step back in time with the treasures of the Viking Age at the South Australian Museum. Featuring artefacts of the Galloway Hoard, the most remarkable collection of Viking Age objects ever unearthed in Britain or Ireland. A time capsule of gold, silver and treasures with unique heirlooms is revolutionising our understanding of medieval Europe. They are now being displayed for the first time ever outside of Britain. On now until the 27th of July. Book now at samuseum.sa.gov.au.
Macular degeneration is Australia's leading cause of blindness. If you're over 50, have an eye test and macular check. Early detection is vital. You can have the very early signs without even knowing. Information, guidance and support is only a phone call away. Call the Macular Disease Foundation on 1800 111 709 for a free macular degeneration information kit.
5AA Afternoons with Leith, Forrest.
7 minutes to 4, very shortly, 5AA Sports Show coming up. Stephen Rowe and Tim Ginniver. It's an exciting time to be a South Australian football fan. The Crows are flying. Port Adelaide, if things go well for them, can do some damage and hopefully sneak in. Lovely to see you. Welcome.
Wishful thinking on the last one. Crows are flying, but...
Crows are flying.
Oh, well, everyone goes, oh, Rowie, who have they beaten? Well, they're beating teams very well. When they do lose, it's by less than, 2 goals, an average margin of 10.
Yep.
They ran Geelong to the wire, but lost. They're in front. They beat Brisbane. Collingwood was a classic game. They're up to their eyeballs in this season.
And now all of a sudden, Dan Curtin's gone, I'm going to be a good young player into a...
He went, hello,
star.
I'm here. This is me. That was a
sign the contract
game.
And away he goes.
A cracking game. Hey, sadly, we lost a Hall of Famer, a South Australian one, a terrific footballer from Westies from 52 to 60, South from 61 to 64. He played in that famous South Adelaide Premiership, the last one they've ever had, under Curls. He was the leading goal kicker that year, which people forget. People forget how good a player he was, a little rover, nippy little thing. He ended up being a legendary sports presenter, inducted into our Adelaide Oval Hall of Fame, along with the great KG. I heard him on with you earlier. I think we're going to try and get him on. He was probably the Dennis Cometti of our era.
Yeah.
Would that be fair?
I think it is fair. So, again, I didn't grow up with Samford footy like yourself, but we watched it down in the southeast, and he's the voice.
He is the voice. He is just a ripper bloke. So to Daisy, that's Ian Day, his family, friends, teammates and colleagues, our deepest condolences. Just an absolute legend.
I remember Chris Day's son used to have Barossa chocolate factory out there.
Okay.
And then Sam Day, of course, is his grandson at the Brisbane Lions
That's
now.
right.
Used to be at the Gold Coast Suns. Will Day's like a great nephew or something. And the bloodlines are amazing.
They are. Famous name, famous person, and just so generous. I think I've heard KG say he used to umpire when he was calling.
Yep.
And it was the brilliance of his calling that lured him into the media, and he idolised Ian Day. KG idolising a bloke is pretty huge, isn't it? So, again, to the family, our condolences. Big show. We'll talk about that. We probably get Cage on, a dear mate for a lot of years with him. We'll talk to Scotty Camperelli in Coach's Corner.
Nice.
We'll steer away from Carlton stuff because his two boys are down there. We will speak to...
Well, hopefully... No, you've got to be respectful of that. And I'm that sort of super fan that I text Campo on the weekend. His son has to play.
This week.
So watch the twos on the
Should have
weekend
played
because I was
last week.
bedridden, correct.
His last month has been enormous.
Excellent.
So, little Benny boy.
Hopefully, fingers crossed. Imagine the debut Friday night MCG against the Pies if he's able to get there.
Yeah. It's one of those games that Carlton's likely to win. They pull those ones out the bag, don't
hopefully. He could potentially go from playing against Port Melbourne on the weekend in the VFL in front of about 100 people
to 100,000.
To 100,000 in the G.
It'd be great if he did. He'll never forget that game. There's no doubt about that. We've got Jackie Saligo. I'm going to ask him one simple question. Do you have a neck or a head? Because whenever they rip it off, you never get a free kick. Are you the invisible man?
He's a gun. You guys don't have any injuries too.
No, that's the big thing.
Burjo, write your own check.
Here there is no injury. Well, there's a bit of luck and great management. I think it's a combination of the two. Actually, Ned McHenry walked into the sports room. He said, they'll get some injuries. You can't go through a year like that. Ned, shut up.
Yeah, why would you say that, Neddy?
Touch wood. Hit me on the head. Touch my head. Crows stay sound. And I mean sound.
Eyeballs.
They're up to
absolute eyeballs.
Yeah, and I've said this before. The premiership team's going to come from outside of the Brisbane, the Geelong, or the Collingwood. I think it's going to be a Crow, a Western Bulldog, or another team that's just going to get it all together in September. Ask the great Malcolm Blight what can happen when you get it together in September.
Tell you what, it's a long 9 weeks for the rest of us who cannot make finals.
Sucked in.
We'll see you after 4. Stephen Rowe and Tim Genova coming up. Mary from Flagstaff Hill. Congratulations, Mary. The Turkey Flat Wine coming your way.
Coming up next, Adelaide's only local sports show. It's the very latest in sport live from Adelaide. Enjoy.